the road to the postseason runs down Walton Way.
You still got a chance to get in the playoffs, so that's something that you're playing for.
One more win puts you that one more step closer to actually, one, making it to the playoffs, but two, also having a home playoff game.
Hepsiba.
They remind you of a team that can give you a hard time. Here's somebody you always worry about.
Richmond Academy.
They want it all.
They're very explosive.
He's got it. It's Freeman. It's a touchdown.
They're well coached, and they have a lot of athletes across the field.
A Richmond County region rivalry renewed.
I think they're buying into the confidence. They're buying into the whole program. They're buying into the process.
You just hope everybody gets better one game at a time, and you create some memories for each other.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
You are about to see football as God intended it. It is a sloppy, messy, wet football field here at ARC Stadium as two Richmond County rivals meet once again in a region showdown. Hepsiba coming in at 3-2, 1-0 in Region 4 AAA. And Richmond Academy, the defending region champions, 1-5 overall, 0-2. John Hart joined as always by Ashley Brown and AB. You could really break this down this way. We feel like Thompson, Burke County, will finish 1-2 in this region in some order. We'll figure that out next week on Game Night Live. Harlem, unless something happens, could be number 3. That means there's one playoff spot left. They're fighting for it tonight.
Absolutely, and as you heard, Hepsiba's coach not only fighting for a spot, he's still fighting for home field. So they're not giving in on those 3 that you mentioned. But, yeah, Hepsiba tonight has a big-time playmaker in Jalen Patrick. I was excited all year when we pinpointed this game to be able to see him play. He's thrown 14 touchdowns in 5 games. He's run for a couple more. And as we go to the keys to the game, one of them is to give Jalen some time to do his thing because he is a playmaker in both ways, running and throwing. And then also win the penalty and turnover battle. That's been a problem for Richmond this year. Hepsiba needs to exploit that. And then for Richmond Academy, they've got to dominate up front on both sides of the ball. They've not been able to generate a lot of offense. They need that line to play well and a balanced attack. Mix those throws in, and they've got to establish the run. And if they can do that, they'll be able to hang in there and maybe get this win tonight.
Down to the field for the coin toss. Our lead official tonight is Neil Smith.
Hepsiba has won the coin toss and elected to defer to the second half.
So the Rebels have won the coin toss, elected to defer to the second half, and Richmond Academy will be on offense and receiving the opening kickoff next on Game Night Live. Well, we mentioned the wet field here tonight, and showers are in the area and expected throughout the evening, so it could get even worse. These two teams meeting for the 28th time. Richmond Academy leads the all-time series 19-8, including winning the last 10 straight. These two teams first met back in 1976. That was the last time Richmond Academy won the region championship before last year. That year, the Musketeers were ranked number 9 in the state and beat the Rebels 27-0.
Yeah, and Hepsiba's had some good years recently. They turned the tide after some long struggles, but they hadn't really turned the corner yet. One thing that hurt them, not only did they graduate some key players like Marshall Chambers, but they had 2 of their key players transfer. Ivan Arroyo transferred to Burke County, where he's one of the top defensive players, and K.D. Dorsey transferred to Evans, where he's one of their top receivers and DBs. If they had those 2 mixed with Jalen Patrick in this team, who knows, maybe they would be in line for one of those home playoff spots.
Justice Whitfield booted away for the Rebels. And away we go. And trouble again, the wet field, the wet football, and Musketeers fortunate to fall on it on the opening kickoff.
Well, we said, the turnover and penalty issue has kind of reared its head against Richmond in some of the games we've seen, and they need to try and win that battle tonight against this Hepsiba team. And the man trying to protect that football is number 11, Jack Murphy, the junior quarterback, in his 3rd year as a starter. Started as a freshman, splitting time, and has sort of taken over the job the last 2 seasons.
And 800 yards passing and 8 touchdowns last year for Murphy. And this is what Lyle Burns told me during our visit yesterday. They've got to get something going offensively, and not happening on first down.
Boy, they need, and I think they really need to establish the run. They can throw it, but if you can't run the ball, that really hurts the pass game. And boy, right there, just dominance up front from Hepsiba. A duo coming in, making the tackle there for the Rebels. There you see them.
Richmond Academy averaging just 9 points a game. And again, lost leading rusher Rashad Williams, 1,000-yard rusher from last year. Lost this year's leading rusher to transfer. And just trying to find a spark. High snap, Murphy pulls it in, and pass broken up. Cornelius Smith on the deflection.
If they could have completed it, there was even some room to run for the receiver, but Reed Marfield could not hang on. Like you said, on the coverage, Cornelius Smith. On that first play, it was Kentrell and the Joneses, Kentrell and David Jones. Big defensive tackles for Hepsiba, both clogging that middle up.
So an early 3rd down test as the rain begins to fall and the umbrellas come out here at ARC. Another high snap. This one direct snap to Maurice Freeman, trying to make something happen, and nothing. And again, it was Cornelius Smith on the stop.
Yeah, good job by Smith coming up on a little bit of a busted play. They need Freeman. He is a playmaker, and whether he's a quarterback, running back, receiver, they absolutely need him. The well-documented case of Jontavius Curry transferring to Thompson. He was the guy I thought needed to really step up, and so far, he hasn't been able to. Now, whether that's his play or the offensive line play calling, whatever it may be, he has not put up any kind of serious numbers in Curry's absence.
So good defensive stand for Hepsiba, and Deontay Singleton will call for a fair catch, and the Rebels will start their first possession from their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, great field position to start for quarterback Jalen Patrick, and what a season he's had so far. In Hepsiba's 5 games, he's thrown 14 touchdowns, and he's run for a pair. 16 scores in just 5 games for the talented junior quarterback. He's got a pair of really good receivers that both average over 20 yards a catch. So we'll talk about them in a moment. And there he is, number 5.
And they have it at the ARC 45. And speaking of 45, it's a good, strong run. Enough ball's on the field. ARC has it. And going the other way with it is Andrew Williams. Huge play for the Musketeers.
Well, that is what they needed. This Hepsiba team is awfully good. They're coming off a couple of really big wins, and you need a play like that to get you going, especially when your offense is struggling. You'll see at the end of the play, it looks like, from behind, it looks like number 23.
That is Paul Reed.
He got the ball out and going the other way with it. The Musketeers. Number 5, Andrew Williams, with a big play. Let's see.
It will be 1st and goal, Musketeers.
When you're struggling to find offense, plays like that are so important.
They are already in the Augusta Disposal and Recycling red zone. And again, just a huge wall of white.
Yeah, that defensive front for Hepsiba has been awfully good this year, and there you see their surge.
Freeman and the leading returning rusher. We talked about them losing their top 2 returning rushers, did the Musketeers. Freeman ran for 449 yards a year ago.
Yeah, they had a couple of 1,000-yard rushers last year in Williams and Curry. Rashad Williams, who graduated, Curry, who is playing at Thompson now, but that's why they need Freeman and some of the other guys to step it up.
Murphy to throw. It is complete. Short gain. Give him 4 yards.
Kellen McDuffie goes down low to make the catch.
McDuffie last year, 200-plus yards receiving, a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, had one on Game Night Live last year here. So Hepsiba, dominant first possession on defense. They get the ball in great field position. On the first play from scrimmage, it looked like they were going to break a long run, and instead, it was a fumble, and it was returned deep into their own territory by the Musketeers.
But facing 3rd and 6. And I think he got it. He's close.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The Rebels, either good blocking up front or they were playing a little passive thinking it was going to be a pass.
That was Taquan Bell. And Nathan Edwards, our spotter here, tells us it will be 4th and 1, so just short. And Lyle Burns with an early Ken Nugent, one call, that's all moment, is going to lead the offense on the field here.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. And he's got Bell back in there running the football with Murphy. See if they try to draw him off, and I think they did.
I believe they did. So we'll never know if they were actually going to snap the football.
Coach,
well, we said penalties and turnovers. Richmond Academy,
for a first
your 4 keys to the game,
has picked up a turnover, and they have now gotten a really key penalty on a 4th down play to benefit them. So 1st and 10.
Offsides against Hepsiba.
1st and goal.
Oh, yeah, technically 1st and goal now.
To the 7-yard line.
1st and goal at the 7.
ARC.
Again, offense has been the question for this Richmond Academy team. This time it goes to Bryce Ivy, who took over as the starter after the transfer of John Tavius Curry, and he is knocked back. Richmond Academy, coached by Lyle Burns, 27-23 in his 5th season. He was the defensive coordinator at Elbert County before coming here. What a job he has done making Richmond Academy not only a force in this region, but a state player. Made it to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, had a spectacular season a year ago, and just changed that whole tradition, you know, brought back that tradition, brought back some of the old fans with what they were doing and the way they're playing the game.
Well, that game last year is Freeman comes back in at QB, gets the direct snap, trying to get the corner. Touchdown!
Well, one of the Hepsiba defenders, I believe it was number 15, Kamir Floyd, had a chance to get him on the corner, but he was unable to hold on. And Freeman makes it count for Richmond with a nice dive into the end zone. You'll see here, it looks like Floyd might have had him, but he just couldn't hold on to him.
And good job by Freeman on a slippery field, keeping his feet. And the T-Mobile student section here at Richmond Academy enjoying what they've seen so far on both sides of the football. As Reed Barfield has it blocked. Can't advance it.
I spoke too soon almost. I was about to say, you know, Richmond only averaging 9 points a game this season, and points so hard to come by. Lyle Burns had to be happy there, but he wasn't going to be happy after the extra point. He's glad to get the touchdown, but
6-0, I should say. Richmond Academy strikes first. Well, if you are Lyle Burns, you could not script a better beginning than this for Richmond Academy, AB.
Yeah, when it looked like it was going to start poorly, your offense struggled and had to give the football up on down or punt it over to Hepsiba, and then, you know, Hepsiba looks like they're breaking a run. But then since then, everything's going Richmond's way, barring the miss, you know, other than the miss kick. You know, they get the fumble, they get the long return, they draw them off sides on 4th and 1, then they punch it in for the score. So Richmond Academy doing what they need here in the early going, and now they've got to try and stop this really talented Hepsiba offense.
Yeah, you mentioned Jalen Patrick can sling it, almost 1,000 yards. He needs 14 yards in this game to go over 1,000 yards for this season. And on first down, they go back to number 45, Telly Johnson.
Yeah, just a sophomore, well-built kid, Telly Johnson. And he and Patrick, both underclassmen, they're building something over here with Coach Dorsey. It started with Coach Harrell, and they're carrying it on now with Coach Dorsey. in his second season.
Moving quickly are the Rebels. It's Johnson again, and this time nothing. Flag comes in.
Yeah, they got him, grabbed him, face mask, it looks like.
First down.
Neil Smith, our official to referee tonight.
Now, while they do that, let's tell you about our friends at McDonald's. You can get free large fries when you download the McDonald's app today and start earning points on every order. Points you can redeem for free McDonald's with the new My McDonald's Rewards. Only in the app. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
So a free fairway forward first down for the Rebels to the Richmond Academy 47-yard line.
And Jalen Patrick looking at the sidelines, possibly call out a different signal here for his offense. Looks like a blitz from ARC.
New back this time, it is Nick Cowan. Another 100-yard rusher for this team. They've got a lot of different weapons on offense. They have 6 players with a touchdown catch this year.
Well, and the 2 big ones, they've got one player who's only caught 12 passes, Eric Grant, but he's averaging 28 yards a catch and he has 6 touchdowns.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah. And then Brandon Glover's the other go-to receiver, 11 catches, 232 yards, and a pair of scores. So you got 2 receivers averaging over 20 yards. That is a high-powered offense.
And this will come back. So back to basically the original line of scrimmage. And we'll do second down again.
You know, Patrick has had some big games this year, had a spectacular game in a road win against Screven County. Last week they picked up a really solid win.
And again, these long counts.
Yeah, and Patrick looks so under control, like almost nonchalant back there.
It's Cowan again. Cowan close to a first down.
Yeah, that time he hit the hole really quickly.
Rebels coached by Daniel Dorsey, 6-7 in his second season. Came from Toombs County where he was the offensive coordinator, but no stranger to our area. He was a graduate of Westside High School. And when he was hired, the principal at Hepsiba said we wanted a teacher who coaches, not a coach who teaches. And ball's on the ground.
Yeah, I think Patrick got
back on it. And Dorsey told me yesterday he believes this is a Hepsiba program that you mentioned William Harrell leading them to the best season in school history 3 years ago with 8 wins. They've never made it past the first round of the playoffs. In fact, only gone to the playoffs 6 times in 67 seasons. But he believes the youth on this team can be the ones, and they believe they are the ones, to change the football culture at Hepsiba. And Jalen Patrick leading that charge right now.
Well, Patrick's a junior. Telly Johnson, a sophomore. Eric Grant, their top receiver, a junior. They got a lot of kids who will be back again next year.
But a big fourth down and a bad snap, or a rough snap. Patrick going to throw, and did he catch it?
He did.
What a grab! Unbelievable catch by
Brandon Glover.
Brandon Glover, wow.
Or was that Grant?
I think it was Grant.
I think it was Grant.
Grant's
17.
his favorite target.
Well, what a play by Patrick to catch the ball, stay on his feet, and then he delivers the throw. But it was the receiver who made the big play there. And, yeah, that was number 17, not number 19, so that was Grant.
And good coverage by McDuffie. But another fairway forward first down. Patrick, again, buying time. End zone. Through the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, a little too much there. Threw it out of the back of the end zone. It's going to be important tonight. Keep those dry footballs coming in. Patrick's got a towel on the back of his pants here. Keep his hands dry. It's wet football.
Matt Lane tells us from down on the field it is sort of a mist, sort of spitting rain, but not, in his words, it keeps coming and going. We'll get a weather report from Matt in just a second. And again, you talk about those wet footballs, AB. Patrick trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, though, when you have to start your plays just doing that. That's the second time the ball has kind of gone through his hands and up in the air. Both times he's made the catch, and one of the times, of course, he converted a big fourth down play, but you lose a down there basically, and now all of a sudden you got to come up with a big play here.
Now you're 3rd and long. Just inside the 20. Patrick to the end zone. And isn't it another great grab? Unbelievable.
God.
2 great grabs on this.
Oh, my word.
On this possession for Eric Grant, his 7th touchdown catch of the season.
What?
Unreal.
What? Look at this catch.
One-handed.
And then holds it with 2. Oh, what a catch.
And that's a catch in the NFL. Went through the process.
Yeah. What a play by Grant. That might be the catch of the year.
Put that one on the huddle.
Man, oh, man. That was something special there.
So now Jamar Gant in on the 2-point conversion. All right.
And they were going to go for 2, but that was a freshman. Gant just kind of threw it up.
While we have a second, why don't we go down to our chief meteorologist for tonight, Matt Lane, and the Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Thank you, John. That's right. It's sunny and 75 here on the field. No, but seriously, the field is very wet. Actually, to start the game, Lyle Burns actually got a ball boy, reminded him that he needed to get a towel to wipe the ball off when they were down on their side of the field before they got their touchdown. But as you see there, Hepsiba not having any problem hanging on to the football, even though it's been raining all day, and it looks to maybe rain a little bit more tonight. Back to you.
That's the biggest thing, John. That's a heck of a catch on a dry, perfect day. I mean, it's wet, and he just put his paw up there and grabbed it and pulled it in. Great catch.
Well, as Freeman on the return, up to the other ball, out again.
Yeah, he lost it.
Hepsiba says they have it.
Well,
the officials may say otherwise.
I think they're going to mark him now. No, they're saying Hepsiba's got it.
Wow. Weather strikes again.
Well, at the end of the play, Freeman lowered his head to try to, run over somebody, and I think that's where he lost the football. That is a bad break for Richmond Academy because Hepsiba's offense looks like they're getting in gear with these big plays to Grant.
Derek. Hey, man.
So Patrick now handed a huge opportunity from the 28-yard line of Richmond Academy. All day. And in and out of the hands, he was looking for Brandon Glover.
Yeah, and that's what we expect to see on a wet night. That ball was zipped in there, and it is wet. It's going to be hard to hold on to. Don't tell Eric Grant that, but Glover that time, the ball just goes through his hands.
Well, you have talked all season long about looking forward to seeing Patrick play, and so far he is not disappointed. He looks in control of this offense. It's almost like watching a college football quarterback. And he's a junior in high school.
He's like a young Russell Wilson who was back when he'd run a little bit,
This time he'll keep or not.
Smart
and he'll have
play.
the first down. Wow.
Smart play.
Very well done into the hands of Jalen Alford.
He's just an athlete playing quarterback, Last year he was a receiver. He could probably play anywhere. But it's so beneficial when you got an athlete that can make plays like that on it. Just, make something up on the run, and big play.
Well, there was a flag. We missed the flag. It was ineligible downfield. So
they thought he was going to run. I get it.
Out of the Augusta disposal and recycling red zone they go. And it'll cost them a first down. This will be 2nd and 14 instead. Just outside the 30.
The thing that gets me about him so far, John, is just how calm he seems. And he just kind of calmly, there's no rush about it.
Every play it's this. Look at the sideline, get your call. All right, guys, here we go.
He's in no rush to do anything.
Patrick.
Maybe more of a Trey Lance.
This time under pressure. Throws, end zone. Nothing there this time. Into double coverage. Singleton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up third down as we get under 3 minutes here in this first period.
Third and long here for the Rebels. And if you get a little bit of it, you might be in 4-down territory anyway, where they are on the field.
But where football is right now, this guy is the ideal quarterback.
Yeah. Exactly. Just able to run and buy time. If he needs to tuck it and take it.
And here we go again.
He can. Yeah.
And this time we'll have to take a timeout. Daniel Dorsey will call a timeout. There you see him in the pink hat, the second-year coach of the Rebels, as they'll figure out what to do on 3rd and 14 from the Richmond Academy 31-yard line. That'll give us a chance to take our first look at your We'll hold off on the scoreboard for just a second.
We can give them a sneak peek at one.
Let's give them a tease, because there is a huge matchup in this region.
Yeah, Burke County and Harlem, and Burke County jumps out in front of the Bulldogs, 7-0.
And we will see those Bears next week and the Thompson Bulldogs in one of the most anticipated games statewide, I would have to say.
Oh, no question.
The year.
And talking about that game, you know, Tay Martin last week went down with an injury. He had to leave the game, and, you know, there was some talk, you know, how serious was it? It's a bone bruise. They don't. He could play tonight. Not sure. They may hold him out because they're playing Cross Creek. They feel like they should win anyway. And then next week they've got Burke County.
So that's 1 week from tonight on Game Night Live, and what many feel will be the Region 4 AAA championship game. Harlem could have a say in that tonight down in Waynesboro.
And Hepsiba could still have a say in that.
I was going to say, we still have business to attend to here. Hepsiba is 1-0 in this region, and as you heard Daniel Dorsey say in the opening segment, they're not thinking make the playoffs. They're thinking about host a playoff game.
And there's Jalen Patrick. Not your prototypical, you know, big-time size-wise quarterback. He's 6 foot, 175, but he's mobile. He can throw it.
Well, he's going to run it this time on 3rd and 14 and leave about 4th and manageable. 4th and, I'd say, 8, maybe 9.
Well, here you want to – obviously, I think you're going to throw the ball here, but do you roll him out? If you roll him to the wide side of the field, he'd be throwing against his body, though, which would be, you know, not necessarily beneficial. He seems to be pretty successful rolling to the right, not necessarily the left. But let's see what they do here on a 4th down play.
4th and 9. Line to make is the 18-yard line, I should say. Patrick going to fling it. And ball knocked out of bounds. Nice coverage by Dalen Foley.
Yeah, really good coverage there. They were going to one of their 2 standout receivers. That was Glover.
So good defensive stop by Lyle Burns and these Musketeers. And with 109 seconds left in the first quarter and a tie ball game, the Musketeers will take over.
Yeah, Richmond been a little bit there, but they benefited from the illegal player downfield penalty, and then they get a stop. Freeman trotting back on field.
1st and 10 from the 27.
And Freeman is in there at quarterback right now.
This is that wrinkle that worked out so well on the touchdown. And not so much this time.
False start. Richmond Academy coming off. We talked about the season last year. 10-2 last year. They were the talk of the town for a long time.
Well, what a memorable game we called here on Game Night Live when they clinched their first region championship since 1976.
It's always fun coming down here. Just so many memories on this field, so many big moments. And
oh boy. Freeman in trouble. If there's anybody on ARC's offense that can make something out of nothing, it's him, but that was too tall a task.
I'll tell you, Cornelius Smith is playing himself a ball game. He is not afraid. You know, sometimes the safeties are the hitters, and sometimes the corners are more the cover guys. Dion sort of brought that into vogue when he was in the NFL. But Dion was a hitter in college, and this kid's a hitter. So big-time play coming up, making the stop there.
Early contender for McDonald's Defensive Player of the Game if Hepsiba can win tonight.
Possibly hit of the game. Yeah,
also could be that, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
3rd and 20.
Catch is made by, is that McDuffie?
Maybe a 4th and a whole bunch, though.
Yeah, they're going to have to
take it
back
away.
over.
Inside the final minute now of the first period. And they will not kick it away. Well, why would they? It's only 3rd down. I had my downs wrong. So 3rd and about 14. Murphy back in. And now it's 4th down.
That was nearly picked off. It'll fall incomplete. I'm with you. I thought it was 4th down, but one of those plays was blown dead, I think.
Yeah.
False start, then the high snap.
Either way, no harm, no foul. It's 4th down now, and the Musketeers will kick it away. Reed Barfield. One of the stronger legs in our area.
And the Rebels should get pretty good field position here. Deontay Singleton.
Standing at his own 37-yard line. And another whistle. Another false start on the Musketeers. So Singleton will move up 5 yards, and the field position's about to get a little bit better for the Rebels. Only 6-6, but it's been an entertaining first quarter.
Yeah, it has been, and Richmond Academy hanging around and looking for just their 2nd win of the season and their 1st win in region play. Or check that, their 2nd win. They had the forfeit early.
Yeah, and we mentioned that in our previous 2 visits here to Frank Edmund Field. The season opener against Hancock Central was forfeited by Hancock Central, not for a COVID situation. They had an equipment issue, something to do with their helmets not being ready. So that is Richmond Academy's only win on the season right now. They have yet to win a game on the field. And with 12.7 seconds left in the first, the Rebels will get a snap.
And Jalen Patrick will get the ball back. See if he can generate some offense on this drive. Last drive kind of sputtered after the penalty.
And this is Nevin Dent, who is the leading rusher for this Hepsiba team, 149 yards. And he'll push ahead for 6 yards. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So, at the end of 12 minutes, we're right back where we started. All tied, 6-all on Walton Way. First started playing football on this field way back in 1930. The oldest, 6th oldest high school in America. Academy of Richmond County tied 6-6 with Hepsiba. Hepsiba, by the way, no youngster itself. Opened in 1860, the 2 oldest schools in Richmond County. And they give ahead to Johnson, and he'll have the first down, a Fairway Ford first down inside the 45. And that brings us to our first QBs by the quarter, brought to you as always by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Well, for the visitors from Hepsiba, their quarterback Jalen Patrick is 2 of 6 passing, 41 yards, and he does have the touchdown on the spectacular catch by Eric Grant. He's run the ball 3 times for 4 yards. And for Richmond Academy, Jack Murphy, 2 of 4 passing for 9 yards. That's QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware and Evans.
So a first down for the Rebels at the 42-yard line of ARC. And it's a question we get every time we do an ARC game, AB. After this, Patrick, long down the sidelines, intercepted. It is picked by Andrew Williams. Huge defensive play for the Musketeers.
His second. He had the fumble recovery return, and now he gets the interception. That pass just overthrown. Patrick really just threw that one up for grabs. You know, and a couple of times this game, his receivers have bailed him out. That time, Williams was the man who makes the play.
There you see Lyle Burns, the coach of ARC. He told me yesterday he's fine with this defense. They have played well. In fact, held Thompson to just 20 points last week. That's basically half of what Thompson averages for a game.
Yeah, and you're right, and it makes it even tougher on the defense when the offense is struggling the way ARC is. So he's been very proud of this group, especially considering who all they graduated a ton of key players off last year's team on the defensive side of the ball.
1st and 10 at the 7.
Whoa.
We have another nominee for the East Central Georgia Health District hit of the game. That was Jaden Law laying down the law. He has 53 tackles this year. That leads this team.
Well, yeah, and he is, you see on this play why. He's not a big guy, but look at that. Whoa. Talk about a perfect form tackle. He's only about 5'6", 5'7", but he weighs about 185, 190 pounds. Man,
and a loss of 1, and now another false start against this Richmond Academy offense.
Well, the interception by Patrick was not what you wanted if you're Hepsiba, but now all of a sudden you've got ARC packed up.
Yeah, they're at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, you make a big defensive play here, and you can put some points on the board yourself on defense and get the ball back.
Lyle Burns has one of the greatest heads of hair in high school football, but I have a feeling after this season a few more grays are going to be added to the mane. Oof. Just off target there. Intended receiver was Barfield. And just like that, it is 3rd down.
Well, he's lucky again, the man playing such a good game defensively for Hepsiba, Cordelia Smith, unable to get quite to that football. He was right there, though.
2nd and 14.
This is big to try and, even if you don't march down the field and score, to try and get out of the back of your own end zone for a punt here if you can't pick up some yardage on these next couple of plays.
And a nice play made by Terrence Herron. 28 tackles on the year. They have a lot of guys with a lot of tackles. This Rebel defense gets around the football.
Yeah, they do. You mentioned Law leading the way. Right behind him, Ryan Allen. We haven't even called his name, and he's got 48, averaging almost 10 tackles a game.
So dangerous territory here for Richmond Academy. Backed up near its own goal line, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you want to get some space, but you really can't do anything crazy either.
And they'll go the safe route. And they're going to have to punt from their end zone. That's exactly what they did not want to do.
Yeah, the back of their end zone almost.
And that job will fall to Reed Barfield as Bryce Ivy was taken down. Yeah.
Well, the interception didn't hurt. It almost worked as a punt, like where they pinned them back,
And Barfield just inside the back line. Be careful here.
Well, the snap and everything on this wet night.
Good job by Barfield to get it away. It is a short kick, though. Good bounce. And great field position for the Rebels. Hepsiba 1st and 10 at the Richmond Academy 42-yard line.
Yeah, great field position. They get it back, basically near where they started where they threw the interception last time. Patrick's 5th interception of the 6th interception of the season, but he does have 15 touchdown passes, which puts him among the area leaders.
So Patrick working with a short field here. And it's Nick Cowan. Cowan getting a lot of calls early here to the 32.
Andrew Williams made the tackle. Having a solid game tonight for Richmond Academy with a pick and a fumble recovery for a long run. There's Andrew. Well, they missed their playmaker. Chris Murray was one of those for them over the last few years. Williams stepping in tonight, doing a good job.
7 yards on first down. So they'll get it again, and they'll get the first down up to the 25-yard line. A fairway forward first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, he's not super big, but he hits the hole so hard that he, falls forward and gets those extra yards. So Hepsiba on the move on the ground on this series.
Why not? Go to him again. This time to the corner. Close to another first down. It'll be about a yard short.
There's some hitting going on the field in this one. That was a big hit by, we've been talking about Hepsiba's big hits. That was Richmond Academy who came up with a big hit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was number 51 who made the tackle. That is Taco Staley.
Now I'm hungry. And just powering straight ahead for the first down and into the Augusta disposal and recycling red zone. Go the Rebels.
Yeah, Nevin Dent. Big back there carrying the football.
They say he's a yard short, so third and like an inch. And if I'm...
Patrick may keep this one.
You think? I'm going to say go to Dent. We'll put a soda pop on it.
All right.
Actually, a Powerade, since those are free for us. Ah, that's a false start. Doesn't count. I can still win.
Legal shift on the offense.
And again, Neil Smith, our
legal shift.
Referee is a legal shift.
Yeah.
So instead of third and an inch, it'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, they've run this entire series. Now let's see if they may consider themselves in 4-down territory and just run it twice.
And this is uncharacteristic for Hepsiba. They came into this game one of the more high-powered passing offenses in the CSRA.
Yeah.
Well, now on 3rd and 5, I mean. Well, they're not going to go to my guy. He's not even in there. So the bet's off. Patrick fires, complete, first down. Grant.
Wow.
Touchdown, wow.
Yeah,
that was.
You got to make that play over there defensively. The defensive backs just, nobody can. It's almost like each one of them thought the other one was going to make the play.
I thought that play was dead to rights after the first down, and off he went.
Yeah, and he was content with that. He was content with turning and picking up the first down.
And off he went, touchdown. Eric Grant with his 2nd score of the night. And
how
again,
about
the Rebels will go for 2.
Eric Grant, he's caught 3 passes tonight. That gives him 15. He's got 8 touchdowns on 15 catches.
And again, the Musketeers break up the attempt for 2. Maurice Freeman got a paw on it. So, with 7:32 left, the Rebels move ahead 12-6 on Walton Lane. Hepsiba has moved ahead here as I think they call that a crescent moon, AB? You're more the
I don't know, man.
Lunar expert of the two of us. That's not in your analyst duties?
No.
So the Musketeers will have it at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Foley goes back and makes kind of an over-the-shoulder catch on it.
I still can't get past that Grant touchdown pass on the previous drive.
Yeah.
It just seemed like such an ordinary play for a quick first down.
The other one, he had to work and made an incredible catch. And this one, they just all right, go ahead. It was weird. And something happened there. I don't know if the corner thought a safety was back there. Williams came up kind of fussing at Foley a little bit. I don't know what happened, but I know the result was a touchdown for Hepsiba.
There you see it again.
And you see, he just took a bad angle, and Williams, the safety, was already up close.
But sure, I'll go.
Yeah. Just took a bad angle.
And
Patrick now has 16 touchdowns this year. He's going to be up there battling Pangle.
Richmond Academy calls its first timeout of the night. Well, ARC football won its first region championship since 1976 last year, but as you know, the athletic excellence here at this campus goes back a long, long way. The golf team, how about Grayson Sigg? Now on the PGA Tour as a rookie, a two-time winner on the Korn Ferry Tour in 2021.
Yeah.
Finished second in Korn Ferry Tour combined points, and he's now a Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year finalist. And he's, of course, went on to the University of Georgia, which, by the way, AB, did you know there are more former Bulldogs on the PGA Tour than any other school?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And they are all in contention, it seems like, every week.
Well, and Grayson is right now playing in the Shriners Children's Open out in Las Vegas. He is 5 under right on the cut line. We'll see if he makes it to the weekend, and I'm sure he's tuning into the live stream right now as his Musketeers face first down from the 33-yard line, and again, another
low snap.
Wet football, yeah.
Yeah, Murphy couldn't do a whole lot there with the low snap, and he also couldn't do a whole lot with David Jones, a big defensive tackle bearing down on him.
Did pick up a yard, so we'll call it 2nd and 9.
We stopped at the 35-yard line for a gain of 2. 7 and 8. Go Musketeers.
Musketeers trying to get something going. Nathan's telling me now, ARC has 18 yards of total offense.
And again, this is what Coach Burns told me during our visit yesterday, and as if on cue, who else but Cornelius Smith?
What a game.
Pick 6.
What a game he is having.
Well, he may have.
He's
well,
wherever the play is, he's there. And you see, it wasn't. The pass was almost right to him, but he just happens to be where the ball is. Yeah, there made a good play, cut on the ball, and takes it the distance.
And this ARC offense just continues to struggle, and the Rebels taking advantage. And again, it'll be Jamar Gant coming in at quarterback for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Nathan was talking during the break saying, why not leave your quarterback, your starter in there instead of throwing the freshman in. And this time, though, I think you get the 2-point catch.
And they did. Wow.
And that is who else?
How about that? And Eric Grant again.
If you throw,
so Grant Smith.
You got Brandon Glover and Grant. If you throw Katie Dorsey, who's at Evans, who was ahead of Hepsiba last year, you put him with these receivers. I mean, I don't know. There's a better group, with apologies maybe to Greenbrier. I don't know. It's close. But, man, Grant is putting on a show.
Well, Hepsiba averages 22 points a game. They're almost there with 6:34 left in the first half.
Well, they have more points than Richmond does offensive yards.
Wow.
In the first half. 3 catches, 61 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion for Eric Grant, and 2 of the catches have been spectacular.
And again, not a whole lot on the return. Musketeers will have it at the 29-yard line. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I think it was 22, the running back, Callan, who made the tackle there on Joshua Coors. So Richmond Academy needs to get something going here. Hepsiba has seized control of this game with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, leading it now 20-6, 20 unanswered points. Remember, Richmond Academy scored thanks to that fumble recovery. They didn't have to go very far.
Another low snap. And nothing.
One thing I
wow, look at the size of number 55.
Yeah, that's Jones. One thing I got to tell you, though, is Coach Dorsey, I know one thing he's doing really well with Hepsiba. They swarm to the football.
Mm-hmm.
They are, if you watch every play, there's not just one player making the tackle. There's a bunch all around the ball.
Well, when you're Jones size, the football's going to be near you somewhere. He's got 23 tackles this year, 2 of them for loss. He is a presence on that line.
Yeah, and the other Jones, 51, those 2 have been a real big factor in the success of Hepsiba tonight.
Well, this time they run around him, and it'll set up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Law in there on that tackle along with number 15. That's Floyd. The Hepsiba Rebels. Big play after big play, whether it was a spectacular catch, the interception return for the score.
And look, this is when it gets fun. We're watching that Burke County Harlem game tonight to see if the Bulldogs can give the Bears all they can want down in the Bear Den. And then here, this Hepsiba team, this might raise a few eyebrows. I know Richmond Academy has struggled this year, but this Rebel team is impressive so far.
Yeah, very much so. And that time, again, a little miscommunication in the backfield. Another poor snap.
And it's going to be 4th down again. And Lyle Burns will have to send his punt unit on one more time.
Singleton will go back deep, but Hepsiba should get decent field position again. The Rebels on top by 14 and about to get the ball back. Well, hold on. Where are they going? Yeah, Barfield's in.
Yeah, Barfield's in.
I don't think, is Hepsiba not putting anybody back deep?
No, I don't think they're buying this. Low snap, Barfield, what amounts to a free kick. And it'll roll at the 24-yard line. So 76 yards away from it are the Rebels.
And there's a, I know he's picking it up. So the Rebels, this is the furthest they've had to go so far. But man, talk about taking the momentum over in this game.
Well, and it all began with that fumble.
Yeah. And they've got the pick six. They've got the spectacular
The pick
catches
six, that's what I meant.
from Grant.
Up 14, 4:10 to go in the half and looking for more. Patrick handles the low snap. Fires left side. And Brandon Glover wrestles his way. There's a flag down on the far side.
Andrew Williams is doing his part tonight. The fumble recovery with a long return, an interception. There he makes a great open field tackle. You know, sometimes you watching those films, you've had a rough one. You still got a little smile on your face when you know you're the guy that's going to get your name called quite a bit for doing well. And Williams so far tonight has done a really good job.
How about number 77 there? How about the size on him, Jamar Hawkins?
Yeah, Hepsiba's
What are they feeding these guys in Hepsiba?
Yeah, Hepsiba's had some big boys over the years. Of course, they've produced a pretty good
James Carpenter from the end.
Yeah, they've produced a pretty good NFL lineman as well.
Gonna get some dinner recommendations in Hepsiba. Good coverage there by the Musketeers. And it's going to be 2nd and long, 2nd and 12.
Pass complete to number 11, Dante Singleton.
Call it 2nd and 11. Patrick. That ball's in the air a long time, gave the defense a chance to react, and react they did. Andrew Williams, one of the first men in for Richmond Academy. Travis Thompson also. I haven't called Travis Thompson's name tonight. He was all over the place when we were here a couple of weeks ago against Harlem.
Well, Williams is playing a good game tonight, but not a whole lot else to cheer about really for Richmond Academy so far.
Well, here you have a chance to get off the field and get good field position if you're the Musketeers.
And get good field position with some time to maybe go down and score. But first you got to get the stop.
3rd and 13. Patrick will keep. Patrick will be stopped, and he's well short. And the Musketeer defense does exactly what it needed to do.
I think his helmet got the first down, but I don't think he did. Number 9, Albright, in on the tackle. He's played a pretty good game, I guess, too, in addition to Williams. And here goes Freeman back deep.
And not very deep.
A Freeman return here, even if it's just a deep return to set him up with a short field, could be just what the doctor ordered for Richmond going down the locker room. Chance to score and tighten this thing up. And
another whistle. Delay of game on the Rebels.
And now Freeman will be up near midfield return for his return, actually about his own 45.
So if you're ARC, a little less than 2 minutes left, you're going to get the ball, in theory, midfield or better. Not too shabby.
Yeah, the defense stepped up there, and they needed that. They were really reeling a little bit.
Almost got it. I think somebody might have gotten a finger. Yeah, it was tipped.
It was tipped. Oh, and Richmond touched it.
And Richmond touched it, and Hepsiba has it. Now that'll have to come back.
Yeah, they can't.
You can't re-advance it.
Wow, what a wild play.
It's still going to be Richmond Academy football.
Antonio Heath was running with it.
I want to see who got their hand on it.
Yeah, somebody tipped it, but right here, a Richmond player touched it. So it's down right there. It should be.
Taquan Bell, and that's where the ball will be. And that's where the official is standing.
Well, actually, Richmond touched it. Hepsiba got it. That should be a recovery for Hepsiba. Hepsiba should have the football.
Oh, Hepsiba will have the ball. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Richmond player touched it first. The return team touched it. And then
I thought it was dead once the kicking team touched it.
Well, they were the return team. Richmond, Hepsiba was punting there.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
That was a weird play, but
so another
getting the ball back.
The long and the short of that is another golden opportunity for the Musketeers.
Yeah,
goes by the wayside. Another low snap. Patrick running for his life, and Thompson can't quite run him down, but pass incomplete.
The good quarterbacks, though, just have a feel for where that defender is. Because it looked like he was going to be sacked, and he just kicked it into a little extra gear to give himself time to get rid of the football.
You hear those footsteps, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Apparently it's homecoming here at ARC tonight. Again, Patrick on the move, and again, Thompson chasing. Again, Thompson can't get him, and Patrick still on his feet. There is a flag down. This is going to come back. It's going to be a big gain, but it's going to be negated. Nathan says it's a blindside block.
Yeah, they've cracked down on that big time in the last couple of years, just trying to protect people, make it a little safer.
So
I know those are the blocks that the fans ooh and ah about, but the refs are definitely looking for that one.
Huge gainer for the Rebels, going to come back.
Yeah. You see, Patrick, sort of like Cobb at Washington Wilkes, it doesn't look like he's floating a little bit, but he just runs by you. And just a great feel back there. And there was the blindside shot. And there's really, and I know you want to put a hit in, you're a football player, but all you have to do there is stand in the person's way. You don't really have to do anything else. But you don't want to get knocked down yourself either, I guess. It's so hard to change the way you've grown up playing football.
So 2nd and 10, Hepsiba from its own 36.
See how they choose to play it here. Plenty of time if they wanted to try to go down and score. And it looks like they are going to do so.
Good defensive play there by Bryce Ivy with the receiver all the way. That was Grant, who's had such a big night, the intended receiver.
Was it just me, or did that seem like a play that was blown dead before it started? And then
it almost felt like a free play that wasn't.
Patrick just picked it up and threw it downfield as far as he could. It was there's been some strange plays tonight.
Second and 10. Patrick will keep. Patrick will be stopped. Very nice play made by Tyshawn Bell.
Yeah, Bell played great the last time we were here, and I hadn't called his name much tonight, but that time he made a really nice play.
I had my For Whom the Bell Tolls reference all ready to go.
Patrick limping a little bit as he got up there.
And
he's holding his elbow. I don't know if it's the shoulder or the elbow.
Yeah, Patrick looks like he's shaking up just a little bit.
Yeah, look. That might be a shoulder. He's hanging that arm down.
As Richmond Academy calls its second timeout of the second half, or second quarter. Will give us a chance to tell you about the Eichholz Law Firm halftime show coming up. It's homecoming here, as we said, at Richmond Academy, so we'll check in with the homecoming court. We'll introduce you to our Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. Check the South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture scoreboard. A lot of big matchups we're following across the area.
Patrick's over on the sidelines throwing, trying to get his arm loose. He was, it just felt like maybe a shoulder had popped out or something because he was dangling it down and then kind of working it, trying to work it in place.
And he is coming back out with the offense on third and a long 10.
Well, keep an eye on that because this team changes completely without him in the game. He's the leader. The right arm of Jalen Patrick, very important to the fortunes of Hepsiba.
You need to get to the 36 and airmail to everybody. Let's get you back down to Matt Lane for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Well, if you would look at the scoreboard, you would not think that it is homecoming here at ARC, as Hepsiba's really taken advantage of mistakes from ARC. But even on the field, a lot of discussion with the defensive players on some of the lackluster tackling and just sort of the apathetic defensive play there, especially on the sideline. But we'll see if they can get things going in the second half after the homecoming court gets announced, because really no wind, no real talking loud, as you see, just everybody kind of hanging out. So definitely going to need more energy in the second half out of the Musketeers.
Well, Richmond Academy is going to get good field position out of this. It remains to be seen if Lyle Burns is content to take it to the locker room down 20-6 with 32 seconds left, or if they'll take a shot at it. Murphy's got an arm.
Well, most nights I would say take a shot, but we've seen the snaps. It's a wet night. I don't know. Maybe you do, play it safe and be content. I know the players and fans don't want to hear that, but you've already had one turnover that turned into a return for a touchdown. If you're going to try for it, the first thing you got to do is give Murphy some time. Murphy is in there.
Yeah, and he's in the shotgun.
Yeah, now they do have a back with him. Let's see what they run here. Not like they're playing it safe at all.
Yeah, why not? Ooh, ball tipped at the line, or did it just come out of his hand?
Yeah, I think it was tipped at the line.
Well, bad news is nothing for ARC. Good news is for the Musketeers, still 24.8 seconds left.
Yeah, earlier this season we were here and Murphy threw a couple of touchdowns and had things going offensively a little bit. And tonight it's been a rough go.
That Richmond Academy Augusta Christian game was an instant classic on Game Night Live.
Yeah, that was a good football game. Came down to the wire, of course.
But the fortunes of those two teams have gone in opposite directions since then. And a flag in.
Yeah, grabbed his face mask. Nathan pointing that out. Nathan.
So face mask is going to give Richmond Academy A first down, B stops the clock, C the ball should be in Hepsiba territory.
Nathan Edwards, our spotter and statistician. Nobody gets more penalty calls, first down, whether it's a tight, close to being a first down or not. Nobody gets more of them right.
I'd put him at 98.6.
It's pretty amazing. Wish my trivia answers for that, huh?
Well, I've got an easy one for you tonight.
You say that. I don't know.
And Murphy just going to be gobbled up by Heron. Heron's second sack of the season.
Yeah, and that will
ought to take us
final play,
to the half. But it's homecoming, so we're in no hurry. Well, if you are Richmond Academy, that played out almost exactly the way the rest of your season has. The defense played a pretty good first half, but the offense just could not get anything going. And Hepsiba, just an impressive showing here in the first half, and leads 20-6 at halftime. The Eichels Law Firm halftime show is next as the Rebels dance their way to the locker room. 20-6, Hepsiba. The Eichels Law Firm halftime show at Frank Inman Field here at ARC Stadium. It is homecoming, so the band and the homecoming court getting set. So we'll be featuring ARC here in a moment, but it just so happens that Hepsiba is getting it done on the field tonight. They also are getting it done off the field. This week, as you know, WJBF each and every week honors a great teacher from the CSRA. This week's honoree happens to be from Hephzibah High School. Brad Means introduces us to Bill Turinis Streetman.
Bill Turinis Streetman teaches several subjects at Hephzibah High School. He's an expert at explaining history, psychology, and sociology. He also conveys life lessons to his students.
We can have wonderful families, wonderful friends, a great career, but all of those things are going to present challenges. So if I can instill something in our young people to give them some encouragement, some wisdom, some insight as to how to keep going through those things, I think that pays dividends later on.
He may not have known it at the time, but Mr. Streetman kicked off this career when he was a child.
At my grandfather's house, going to church was not an option. We had to go. And when I was 10 years old, my grandfather gave me a book, told me to go teach the kids that were 5 to 6, and I knew then that that was what I was going to do.
Mr. Streetman takes time to establish strong connections with his students. He's compassionate. He understands that sometimes life happens.
Every child is different. So COVID, family problems, it affects each child differently. So whereas if we have an assignment that's due on Thursday, but there's an unforeseen challenge that child meets, we can sit down and have a conversation, and maybe we can extend that deadline.
And even though they're high school students, Mr. Streetman knows that parents still play a huge role.
Give your child everything you have. Teach your child from your successes, teach your child from their failures, correct your child, but always encourage your child, and be your child's advocate and be your child's hero.
Thank you, Bill Turinis Streetman, for keeping your students on the path to greatness, a path that you've been walking since those times at church with your grandfather.
One of the things I try to tell my students is, whatever you do, please find something to do that you love as much as I love teaching.
She would also like to be a member of the Her extracurricular activities include being a member of the ARC cheer team and captain of the JV cheer team. She has attended...
All right, we're back on the field here for our Eichels Law Firm halftime show. A little loud down here as we have the homecoming festivities happening, but I do have Carlton Brown from T-Mobile with us and want to talk to him real quick. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Now, can you explain why, like, what's the draw for T-Mobile to want to be involved in high school football?
We just wanted to be a part of the CSR community. This is a way for us to do that. Just let everybody know that we can service all their wireless needs for them as well as their home internet now, because we're launching that as well with the largest 5G network in the nation.
Now, I know I've seen you at each and every football game that we've done. How has that been fun, getting to interact with a lot of the students and a lot of the fans?
Yes, it's been exciting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, feeling the energy of the crowd, intermingling with them, let them know exactly what we're doing. They always say what T-Mobile's doing here. We get a chance to explain to them why we're part of the community, you know, that, and then we want them to know that anytime they need any assistance, all they got to do is stop by the Magenta truck and come find us.
Now, do you have any local draw here to a certain high school, or do you cheer for a certain team?
Actually, no, because I'm not from here, but I moved down here specifically for the truck. My team actually are from down here. I have a few people that went to this location. They have friends that actually attend the school right now. So,
well, very good. Well, we appreciate you coming out each and every week. They do a great job interacting with everybody, having a lot of fun. I know I saw y'all playing cornhole one time. Y'all had the cornhole boards out there. I should have come over there and won, but I didn't. But Carlton Brown from T-Mobile, thank you for joining us here for our Eichels Law Firm halftime show. What we're going to do is go to a quick break, and when we come back, more of the halftime show. And welcome back on the field for our Eichels Law Firm halftime show here at beautiful ARC Stadium. We are getting ready to find out who the homecoming queen is in just a few minutes, but want to hand out some hardware for our Ray Guy Award, or Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. And really quick for Hepsiba, it's number 14, Justice Whitfield, who is a sophomore with the Rebels. Congratulations to him. And for ARC, it is Reed Barfield, who is a junior for the Musketeer football program. So I want to thank Augusta Sports Council, Ray Guy Award, punters of the game, Justice Whitfield for Hepsiba, and Reed Barfield for ARC. What we're going to do now is join homecoming festivities here that are now in progress, and let's see who wins.
Activities include being a member of ARC's cheerleading team all 4 years and captain the last 2 years. She has been a member of the WJBF for 4 years and has held a leadership role the last 3. She is currently a battalion commander. She is a member of Beta Club and Senior Council and has been an IB student all 4 years. Our next homecoming queen candidate is Miss Jana Merrick. Jana is being escorted this evening by her grandfather, Mr. Nathaniel Dunn. After high school, Jana plans to attend college to study anesthesiology. She also hopes that one day she will be able to open her own restaurant. Her extracurricular activities include being a member of ARC's basketball and tennis teams, and she plans to join the track team this year. She is also looking forward to rejoining the Delta Gems. Our final homecoming queen candidate is Miss Marley Wilson. She is being escorted this evening by her sister, Miss Haley Wilson. After high school, Marley would like to attend an HBCU to major in interior design and minor in business. She would also like to become a member of the cheerleading team and to join a sorority. Her extracurricular activities include being a member of ARC's cheerleading team for 4 years. She is also a member of Flair, All-Star Cheer, Georgia Soul Semi-Pro Cheer, and competitive dance. She also has been coaching youth tumbling classes for the last year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a final round of applause for all of our homecoming representatives. At this time, could I please have the Queen candidates please step forward in front of the homecoming king. And now the moment we all have been waiting for. Your second runner-up is Miss Jana Myrick. And your 2021 homecoming queen is Miss Marley Wilson. Congratulations to all candidates.
What we're going to do right now is go to break, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the second half of the football game here, homecoming game here at ARC against Hepsiba. This has been our Eichholz Law Firm halftime show. Back with John and AB after this.
Teams at University.
Eichholz Law Firm halftime show continues as the teams have retaken the field to get ready for the second half of play, and that gives us a chance to run down some of the first half stats, AB.
Well, if you're a Richmond fan, they don't look great. The Musketeers, 30 total yards of offense on 28 plays. Yeah, 1.1 yard per play. And if you look on the other side, Hepsiba 150 yards on 32 plays for 4.7 a play. Turnovers, ARC has 2, Hepsiba has 1. Time of possession within 6 seconds of one another, very close. Field position, Hepsiba is starting at their own 47, ARC at their own 34. Penalties, Hepsiba actually has 7 for 48 yards, Richmond 5 for 32 yards. But again, 150 total yards to just 30. Matter of fact, more penalty yards than offensive yards for Richmond Academy. Individually, the statistics, the receiver, Eric Grant, has had a great first half. 3 catches for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns, giving him 8 touchdown receptions on the season. He also caught a big 2-point conversion as well. And the leader, Kellen McDuffie, has 2 catches for 9 yards in terms of the receivers go for ARC. And running the football, the leading carrier rushing the ball, I believe for Hepsiba, it's number 22, and that is Nick Callan. Callan has 5 carries for 29 yards. And for Richmond, the leading ground gainer, and we haven't called his name a whole lot, but it's Taekwon Bell. He carried the ball 6 times for 22 yards to lead the way for the Musketeers. But other than that, not much going on. Some big players on defense, too. Andrew Williams, a fumble recovery for ARC. He's intercepted a pass. And on the other side for Hepsiba, the big playmaker on defense has been Cornelius Smith. Some great tackles in the open field, and he also has a pick 6.
So we'll also make that our QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Well, I saved those. You mean
oh yeah, sure. With all apologies to Jack Murphy, yes.
Yeah. So QBs by the quarter. Jack Murphy 2 of 7 for 9 yards. He does have the pick. He's ran the ball 3 times for -2 yards. For Jalen Patrick, he's 5 of 13, 66 yards, 2 TDs. He does have an interception as well, and he's run the ball 6 times for 24 yards. So there's your QBs by the quarter with the stats as well.
All right, take another quick break, and we will run down some other scores from across the area and have the second half kickoff. Remember, Hepsiba deferred, so they'll have the ball. They've got the lead as the Eichels Law Firm halftime show rolls on. Eichels halftime show continues here from Frank Inman Field at ARC Stadium, 20-6. Hepsiba leading ARC and about to get the second half kickoff. Time to take a look at our South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture scoreboard.
Yeah, a lot of ball games going on around the area tonight. Nathan doing a good job gathering the scores. Burke County flexing their muscle tonight against Harlem. It's 35-7. North Augusta taking out some aggression from a rough season on Airport. They lead 36-7. Keep an eye on that Washington Wilkes team. They can make a deep run in the playoffs. They lead 22-6. Silver Bluff remains undefeated. They've only given up 14 points all year. That was last week against number 8 Wade Hampton. Social Circle giving Lincoln County fits 14-13. Thompson leading Cross Creek. They're blowing them out 41-0. Rabun County and one of the top quarterbacks in the country, Gunnar Stockton, he's got 4 TDs. They lead Grovetown 31-0. And Jefferson County leads Oglethorpe 7-0. Some other scores that we gathered, Barnwell rolling. These were Thursday night scores. Barnwell hammered Willis Nelco 69-14, a big rivalry game. South Aiken beat River Bluff 27-14, and Laney knocked off Josie as well. I think that was 8-2. It was a weird final score. Fox Creek trailing Gilbert right now 28-13. Augusta Prep leads Creekside at 7-0. Augusta Christian in a tight one with Pinewood. The Lions lead at 14-13. Aiken leads Midland Valley 6-0, and Strom Thurman leads Brooklyn Casey 17-0, and a couple others here. Lakeside looking good against Heritage 21-6, and you've also got Bamberg Earhart leading Branchville 14-7. So there you go. Lots of scores from Nathan. Thank you.
And we'll see Burke County and Thompson a week from tonight. We got a couple of more seconds before the kickoff. Let's take a look at a couple of the highlights from the first half of play. And it started with
nice run by Freeman, getting the first score of the game. That put ARC up 6-0. They launched the extra point. And then Hepsiba got going. Jalen Patrick, this was a screen to Grant. He just turned, and the defenders made a bad run, a bad angle, took a bad angle, and he makes them pay for it with a touchdown. That was his second TD.
And there was more where that came from, and Hepsiba leads 20-6. As we begin play here in the second half. So an impressive first half for the Rebels, and now they have the football and everything going their way, AB.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, Hepsiba was probably, I guess, the favorite coming in, but Richmond jumped out on him with that touchdown with a big defensive play, but then Hepsiba just kind of assumed control of the game. And it hasn't been just turnovers and penalties, though. It's been Hepsiba making big plays. Grant with those catches. On most nights, he probably doesn't haul that touchdown in. He might not haul the 2-point conversion in, but he's made the plays tonight when they count it.
And so the Rebels will start in Richmond Academy territory at the 49-yard line. And Jalen Patrick, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick in the first half, and
that's how the game started.
How the game started for Hepsiba as Telly Johnson.
But on that play, remember, to start the game, Johnson fumbled at the end of the run, and Richmond got the ball back. This time he holds on and picks up about 6.
Up to the 44-yard line.
About 5 or 6, yeah. Telly Johnson's a big kid for just a sophomore.
A punishing running back. Oh, nice play. Very nicely done to get a hand up there by Travis Thompson.
It was still caught by Smith.
He's going to lose a few. He might want to just let that one drop.
Getting Smith into the act on offense there. But you're right, it was tipped.
So 3rd and 7.
Jalen Patrick. Not a huge statistical first half. 5 of 13, but he did have the 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, the first half, it was Grant with the big half. 3 catches, 61 yards, and the 2 scores. Patrick going to keep. Needs to get to the 40-yard line and overthrows. Flag down. Back at the 46-yard line. And Nathan tells us illegal man downfield on Hepsiba, and the Rebels are retreating.
Yeah, not sure there because it looked like a designed pass play. So I'm not sure why, but one of the linemen had his signals crossed and went downfield. So ERC will decline it.
Talk about wasted opportunities. You're leading, but Nathan tells me that's the 3rd Hepsiba drive that has started in Richmond Academy territory, and so far has come up empty. Although Daniel Dorsey is going to lead the offense on the field here. Needs 7. Line to make is the 39-yard line, and this isn't one of those pull them off things. Got to go. Patrick in trouble, being chased. And it'll be a Richmond Academy ball. Nice defensive stand by the Musketeers.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that Patrick just didn't tuck it and run there. He may not have got it, but he could have gotten pretty close. Instead, he tried to throw it. It's incomplete, and Richmond Academy will get the ball. So really nice stand by the Musketeers. And as you said in the first half, that Lyle Burns has been pleased with the defensive performance this year. It's the offense that's struggling, and that's sort of been the case tonight.
Well, and to that end, the Musketeers, as you mentioned at the half, had more penalty yardage than offensive yards in the first half. 32 yards worth of penalties, just 30 yards total offense. And the Musketeers averaging just 1.1 yards per play. And this one doesn't start out very well either.
Nah, that defensive front for Hepsiba's done a good job tonight, the 2 Jones kids. Nathan's praying for Hepsiba to run the football. And I know what he's saying. Richmond Academy is struggling so bad on offense, you don't really need to throw it. Just run the football, run the clock. You're up 14. And that drive stalled with Hepsiba trying to throw it. They picked up almost 6 yards on first down.
So that 1.1 yards per play for Richmond Academy is going to go down a little bit with first play from scrimmage here. Murphy will throw, and he can throw, and he does throw, and it's a nice throw to Maurice Freeman, who's still on his feet, into Hepsiba territory, at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Freeman made the first man miss, and you saw the speed there. Yeah, Murphy, like I said, the last, one of the times we were down here for Game Night Live, he threw 2 touchdowns.
12-yard pickup, close to, and I believe it is, it is a fairway forward first down. And that's maybe the most explosive play we've seen all night from ARC. So we'll see if that's a sign of things to come.
They got Freeman in the shotgun now, and
this is the play. This is the formation from which they scored their lone touchdown earlier. This time Freeman will go right, and nicely done, nicely read and played by Ryan Allen.
Yeah, Allen there, and also who else? Number 23, Cornelius Smith. Allen, the second leading tackler on this team, had 48 coming into tonight. And then, of course, Smith has had a big game tonight. Has the pick 6, several nice open field tackles.
A name we have not called, at least much, for Richmond Academy tonight, Kellen McDuffie.
Yeah, he's one of the ones along with Freeman that they really need. He's a playmaker.
And Murphy running for his life, just had to get rid of it. And it'll be 3rd and 11.
If they're going to have a chance tonight, they're going to have to convert a few of these type plays.
Well, McDuffie last year was one of the key components on this offense. Of course, you had a lot more weapons last year.
Yeah, they had Rashad. Well, and also they could keep the defense honest because they had those 2,000-yard backs. And then you throw in Freeman, who had over 400 yards. They could run the football last year, and this year they just haven't been able to.
3rd down. Got to get to the 35, and not going to happen.
No, and even if it had been complete, that ball was going to be short of the first down. The defender right there. So.
And Lyle Burns will take this opportunity to try and flip the field. And see if Reed Barfield can pin him deep.
Singleton is back deep.
And this time he is actually deep, way back at his 10-yard line. Good bounce for the Musketeers. And the Rebels will take over just inside their own 20-yard line. Well, you talk about history here, and we'll do that after this. Rebels and Musketeers 20-6. Hepsiba leading early, 3rd quarter. First and 10, Hepsiba from its own 20-yard line with 8:05 left here in this 3rd quarter.
And the Rebels have big back Dent back in there.
And he'll get the call on 1st down. And that's just a lot to pull down. That wasn't Dent, actually.
Yeah, Dent was on the other side.
Yeah,
they gave it
that
to
was Callan again, who had the big first half. I'm seeing Kalen here in the press box. So my apologies to Nick if I've gotten it wrong thus far.
And there's
That's
the big
Dent,
fella.
yeah. And he's
down.
down, but he's also looks like he might have gotten shaken up on the play.
Yeah.
And he's up. He's all right. That's good. And it's 1st down. So it all worked out for Hepsiba.
He looks a little like another back that wore number 6 at the college level at Notre Dame. Jerome Bettis.
Oh, well, of course. Well, it's interesting you bring up the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's kind of where we're headed with the trivia question, which is coming up momentarily. But first, it's 1st and 10 Rebels from the 31-yard line. Read by Patrick, and that just was absolutely eaten alive.
52 in there. This is the jersey change we had from.
Yeah, Grady Nogle. He's doing the jersey change, as you said. He's wearing 16 on offense, 52 on defense. Reminiscent of Bo Schugartz at Greenbrier, who also would do that, playing both ways.
Who is at the Naval Academy now. or excuse me, Air Force.
Well, don't get that wrong.
Yeah.
A big hole in the middle. How about this? It's Johnson. Big game. Flag down at the end, but he is into Richmond Academy territory, and for the moment, it is a fairway forward first down.
Yeah, tell you, John, I like this kid. He's a good-looking back.
And it's going to remain a fairway forward first down.
Like you said, it's kind of a running back by committee for them, but I like this kid. He's only a 10th grader. Big kid, too. And
you want to try to bring that down?
No, I'm up here. I'm fine.
You and I were, and the penalty, by the way, is going to take Hepsiba all the way down to the 24-yard line. But you and I were earlier trying to think of players he reminded us of. And he's reminiscent of, from Screven County. Went to Georgia Southern, the big running, C.J. Wright.
Oh, yeah. He looks like Christian Okoye out there.
A little bit, yep, a little bit.
Yeah, C.J. Wright was. How many defensive tackles are also a running back?
Galen inside the Georgia Department, or Augusta Disposal and Recycling red zone.
A lot of running backs used to wear the 40, back in the day. Archie Griffin and Pete Johnson, the old Bengal running backs, wore 45 and 46. Mike Pruitt and Browns wore 43. I'm dating myself quite a bit. That might even be before your time, John.
A little bit. I was trying to think of the Falcons had a running back, number 44, and I can't remember his name right now. But
they did.
Wasn't Andrews was 33?
Andrews was 31.
Yeah, 31. Yes.
Andrews was 31. Gerald Riggs.
Yes, absolutely. Funny story about Gerald Riggs. Before they tore down the Georgia Dome, they sold all the big banners that hung from the top of the stadium with the Ring of Honor, and Gerald Riggs is in it. A buddy of mine bought it in auction, and he took it home, and it was so big that it went all the way down the street. He said, "Anybody wonder what I should do with this thing?" It's somewhere in his basement now.
He should have called Gerald. He come and got it.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, they did. The Falcons always seemed to have a good back then. And William Andrews was good for a long time, and then Gerald Riggs came along.
Big first down for Hepsiba inside the 15-yard line. And it's Johnson again. Boy, for a big guy, you're right. That was a nice cut.
I'm telling you, he's going to be a good one. Only in 10th grade. We got that. It's just amazing to me, and I've said it year after year, and it just gets – there are more and more of them. These kids are so ready to play by the time they get to the high school level, and it just didn't used to be the case. I mean, there's no way I could have played varsity football as a 9th grader.
Well, and again, these coaches will tell you they'd much rather these guys be playing on Thursday night right now. But talking to Daniel Dorsey yesterday, as Johnson gets the call again, he'll push inside the 10-yard line, and it should be first and goal for the Rebels.
Now, they're kind of asserting their will a little bit now on the Musketeers, doing what Nathan was telling them to do, run the football.
Third and about 3. But talking to Coach Dorsey yesterday, he's a very laid-back guy, very calm guy. But you can tell he is very excited. He kept talking about how young this team is, the young talent they have.
Yeah.
And next year after, he believes Hepsiba can be a major player in this region.
Well,
if not this year.
They've surprised some people this year with the start. Like I said, they've gotten some nice wins, sitting at 3-2 overall. And right now, looks fumble.
But a big play for this ARC defense. How about that, Travis Thompson?
Dent coughed that one up. That's the second fumble of the night for Hepsiba. They also have an interception. If not for those 3 turnovers, this one could be ugly. But let's see, it was Dent running the ball, and somebody just got their helmet right on it.
See if we can get a number on it. Yeah, it's number 9. That is Jaquavius Albright.
He's played a great game tonight. Albright and also Andrew Williams standing out as playmakers tonight for the Richmond defense.
Well, I think this Rebel offense has sort of lulled us all to sleep on that drive, and a huge play by the Richmond Academy. Musketeers are by no means out of this thing. 4:20 to play in the third.
Especially if they can get a big drive or a big play. A big play would go a long way.
And that is what Lyle Burns told me yesterday. He just feels like if they can break a couple of explosive plays, they're that close. And here's a big play. On first down, it'll be 11-yard gain. Freeman on the quarterback keeper.
Well, Freeman has the most explosiveness, I think. His ability to kind of turn it on, that speed. McDuffie as well. And if they could hit a big pass play, that would be huge. But right now they're going to try to run it.
It's Freeman again. 5 more yards. And that has been their most effective formation tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Freeman using that quickness, getting the direct snap. And they're still okay time-wise. You know, they have not been a quick strike out. They haven't been a strike offense, this year, but certainly not quick strike. And they've got enough time, but if you go into that fourth quarter still down 2 scores, that could be trouble. This is a big drive here.
Again, it's Freeman at quarterback, this time out of the shotgun. And he'll hand it off, and it's a first down. So signs of life from this Musketeer offense.
Yeah, running the football. There's Law, gets in there and makes another tackle.
Ivy on the carry for Richmond Academy. It is so humid that we've lost our booth camera. You will not be able to see AB and I again.
You're welcome.
It is.
The first.
There it is. There's your booth camera view now.
A few minutes ago, it looked like this game was over. Hepsiba was about
here
to score.
Come the Musketeers again.
Yeah.
And I mean, this ground game has awakened for Richmond Academy.
But seriously, they look like they're going in to score to go up, 3 scores. Instead, Richmond gets the fumble, and now they're trying to move the football a little bit on the ground here.
Murphy back in at quarterback. And players shaken up for Richmond Academy. Bruce Ivy, the starting running back. He is coming off, favoring his left. Looks like maybe an ankle. We'll keep an eye on that. 2nd and 5. Murphy to throw. Airmailed everybody looking for Barfield.
And threw it into double coverage, though. Barfield had the corner. Then he had a safety over top.
That was a good spot to take a shot, though.
I love the idea of taking the shot, no question. You get a big play, and now you need to come up with something to pick up 7 yards and get a first down. It's 3rd and about 6.
So big play here late in this 3rd quarter. Musketeers need to keep this drive going. Hepsiba trying to get them off the field. That is one thing Daniel Dorsey told me. His defense getting teams off the field on 3rd down, and they will do just that unless Lyle Burns decides to roll the dice here, which I seriously doubt.
Not at this spot of the field.
Not quite this early.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of, there's still time. You're in the 3rd quarter still. There's a look at Cornelius Smith, who's had a big-time game tonight.
Well, that brings us to everybody's favorite segment on Game Night Live, the Stump AB Trivia Question. I believe you are 4-2, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
On the season. I've got it in my records somewhere.
I'll take it, 67%. Let's end it.
Not bad, not bad. Nope. We still got a few games to go. We've talked about the history here at Richmond Academy. One of the best things about doing games here is you have, 240 some odd years of history to pick from for questions.
I'm old, but I wasn't here for all of them, John.
As the Rebels will take over at the 41-yard line. Well, one of the best players ever to play here, of course, was Ken Wisenhart. All-State back in the late 70s, went on to play at Georgia Tech, and then, of course, became a head coach in the NFL. Before that, as you well know, he was the offensive coordinator for your Pittsburgh Steelers and led them to Super Bowl 40 against the Seattle Seahawks. During that game, he called one of the most memorable plays in Super Bowl history. So the trivia question tonight, AB, is who was the first wide receiver to throw a touchdown and still the only wide receiver to throw a touchdown in Super Bowl history? I told you this is a gimme, so if you don't get this one.
If I don't get this one, I deserve whatever. I cannot consider myself a respectable Steeler fan if I don't get this one.
9 yards on 1st down on the pickup from Glover.
And you had to be a little happy on this play.
Well, yes, on the
Just a
receiving
little
end.
happy,
On the
yeah.
receiving end, I was, yes. And that was a first down. They're going to go ahead and move the chain. So 1st and 10 into Richmond Academy territory. A fairway forward first down for the Rebels.
Now, if you're Richmond, you really have to keep them out of the end zone. If they score here, you likely go into the fourth quarter down 3 scores. That would be really bad. New back in there.
Yeah.
He's got some speed.
He does.
Mad
That
at
is
himself.
Jalen Alford, a sophomore.
Well, he got some quickness.
Well, they just keep running backs at you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. First time we've called Alford's name, but man, I like his quickness.
And it's Alford again, flag down. Let's get you down to Matt Lane for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Thank you, John. That's right. As you saw, 12 hobbled off. It was actually his left knee that was acting up on him. Stretched it out a little bit, had the trainer check him out, put some weight on it, and he's actually back in the game. Also, keep an eye on number 74, ARC, hobbling a little bit. Some folks here on the sideline were talking about it, but he seemed to run off on his own, but we'll see if that comes back up next time they're on offense.
And number 70 for ARC is Big Alonzo Jones. And we always get the question every time we do a Richmond Academy game, why does he wear a South Carolina Border Bowl helmet? And the story we're told is that's the only one that will fit him. Patrick making time with his feet, gonna run for it. And he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, like I said, Hepsiba's content holding the football here, letting some clock run off, although they run out of bounds there. But Richmond has not shown an ability to strike quick.
There you see.
There it is.
Alonzo Jones helmet. Hey, we appreciate the free publicity, Alonzo. Border Bowl coming up in January. Lyle Burns, the Richmond Academy head coach, will be the head coach of Team Georgia. Of course, those teams were announced last week, or a couple of weeks ago, actually, now. You can check that out at WJBF.com. Team South Carolina trying to extend its streak. They've won 4 straight. Of course, last year's game was canceled due to COVID.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Get back out there. Always fun. Always see some great performers. And we've got some of those performers, former ones, doing a great job, do we not?
Mm-hmm.
How about what is going on with the play of the former Aquinas quarterback? Hold on one second here. Over at Samford. He's having himself.
He's player of the week just about every week, isn't he?
He was the national player of the week.
Unreal.
Threw for almost 600 yards.
Wow. Well, that'll take us to the 4th quarter.
Talking about Liam Welch.
Yes, Hepsiba, big lead over the Musketeers. Hepsiba possibly 12 minutes away from going to 2-0 on region play. And as Patrick tries to throw for the first down, that'll bring up 4th and about 7. And you look at their schedule, Hepsiba has Cross Creek coming to Hepsiba next Friday night. That's a winnable game as well. You're talking about a 3-0 possible start in this region.
Yeah, but then the
then
the big
I wasn't
boys
going to. Hey, look,
well, hey, if you get to 3-0 though, you put yourself in a great spot to be in the playoffs. And
let's put it this way: if you are 3-0 after next week,
you're going to be in
the road to that 4th playoff spot basically runs through Hepsiba.
Yeah. Yeah, they look playoff bound. The question is home or road playoff, and those final key games in the region will decide that.
Rebs going for it on 4th down. Patrick running, then throwing, and completing, and a first down. Great catch made by Nick Cowan. Now, the officials want to talk about this and see if Patrick was across the line of scrimmage. And indeed he was.
Yeah, Travis Thompson was not happy after the play for Richmond Academy. He'll be happy once the penalty is assessed.
So a nice job by Richmond Academy to get the ball back. And Jack Murphy will be back in at quarterback. It has been a rough go for Richmond Academy on offense tonight. We mentioned 1.1 yards per play in the first half, but that last drive, that running game started to come alive.
It has, but if they score here, they're only down at 1 score, you know?
Ball batted down there. Second down.
We've seen Murphy have much better nights than tonight. He's struggling a bit tonight, but we've seen him much better than this, that's for sure.
Well, we have a second. Let's get you our QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, speaking of that, Jack Murphy just 3 of 12 for 21 yards and an interception. On the flip side, Jalen Patrick, not big numbers, 7 of 18, well below his completion percentage for the year, 73 yards, but he does have the 2 scores. And there's a complete pass from Murphy.
Barfield.
And that's your QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware and Lumber Company in Evans.
So another third down for the Musketeers as they try to claw their way back into this thing. Still plenty of time.
Well, there is, but it seems like this is almost kind of a must-score drive. You know, if you're going to have those long, methodical drives, you got to come away with points.
It's one of those, I remember the great Larry Munson in a situation like this. If Georgia was in the situation Hepsiba was in, he'd say, there's just too much time left. Then as soon as you score, there's no time.
You know, Murphy
very nicely done by Murphy to get the first down.
Showing some athleticism there. He's a good athlete, good baseball player, and we've talked about that quite a bit.
So here come the Musketeers methodically moving their way down the field. Fairway forward, first down at the 46-yard line of Hepsiba. Firing again, completing again. Short gain, but a gain nonetheless.
A good job by Freeman to hold on to that one. Had a defender all over his back. And the Musketeers closing in on that 10-minute mark. Down 20-6. They scored early on and have not scored since, but they got the ball on the move this time.
In fact, no one has scored here in this second half. But the game has been played between the 30s, basically, as Murphy is taken down from behind. Nice job by Terrence Herron.
He's had a good game as well.
A long third down situation for Lyle Burns Musketeers. Now is it 2-down territory?
I think so, just based on, you know, I mean, obviously you want to get some yardage here, but I still think you almost have to go for it. Oh, and
goodness gracious. Herron with another vicious tackle. Let's see if Murphy's okay. He is. And now we will find out if it's 2-down territory. A Ken Nugent one call, that's all moment for Lyle Burns.
I think you go for it. I know it's a long way to go, and I know you haven't had success there, but I think just based on the time left and the fact that your defense, you've got some faith in them, I think you do go for it.
We've got some nominees for hit of the game, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And indeed, and the Musketeers will keep the offense on the field. 4th and 12. Line to make is the 36-yard line of Hepsiba.
They got to give him some time to throw. That's the key.
He does have time. He does throw, and it is picked off. Deshaun Lewis, and Lewis has some daylight.
Good job chasing him down by Kellen McDuffie. Second pick of the game by the Rebels.
And it'll be 1st and 10, Hepsiba.
I would say
in
that
Richmond Academy territory.
I would say no big deal. That's like a punt, but the long return does hurt. Yeah, Murphy just overthrew his target that time. He had plenty of time. Good pocket.
.29 yards on the return by Lewis. And I would imagine we're about to get a steady diet of backfield by committee.
Yeah, Dent, Telly Johnson and company. this alignment, we usually see 22 carry the ball, who is in there. And that is Callan. Well, they look like they're about to throw.
That's stand corrected. But a whistle blows.
Yeah, they look like they were getting ready to toss it downfield there.
Official timeout. And now it looks like we're ready to go. 1st and 10 at the Richmond Academy 46. Low snap. And we are going to throw. Patrick in trouble. And down he goes. Chased by Paul Reed. Don't forget, coming up at the end of the game, our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, as well as our Powerade play of the game and our Georgia East Central Health District hit of the game. All coming your way in 8 minutes and 39 seconds. Johnson on 2nd and 15, pushes close to the original line of scrimmage. We've been telling you all about the big matchups across the area tonight. You can see the highlights from all of those and the final scores on Football Friday night coming up your way, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. Brendan and Colin at Television Park, the only 30-minute show devoted exclusively to high school football in the CSRA. Football Friday night, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. 3rd and 12. Patrick.
Most time he's had to throw tonight.
And he does throw, and it is complete, but well short. Grant, again, who had such a big first half with the 2 touchdown catches. But it'll be 4th and 10. With 7:31 left to play in that game. And it looks like the Rebels will punt. So the second half has been just sort of a slugfest. Kind of what we thought the first half would be with the weather and the wet field. And they're going to fake it. And it'll be complete. It is Grant, but he's short. And it'll be first down Richmond Academy. Another great one-handed grab by Grant, but it is short of the first down. Justice Whitfield, the punter, with the pass. But Richmond Academy read it well, and the Musketeers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 40 when we return. By the way, we mentioned Grayson Sigg, the PGA Tour rookie from Richmond Academy. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Hepsiba's got its own PGA Tour star.
That's right,
Our good friend Vaughn Taylor. 3-time winner on the PGA Tour. That was almost picked.
Yeah, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Kellen McDuffie.
Don't want to look ahead, but boy, oh boy, are we going to have some fun next Friday night.
Man, it doesn't get any better. And the cool thing about those two, it doesn't matter which field you're going to.
They're both great.
Whether it's the Brickyard or, of course, the Bear Den in Burke County, either one of them, just phenomenal settings. And anytime those two play, it's good.
We always enjoy our trips here to ARC as well. Coach Burns always rolls out the red carpet. Not quite Jefferson County red carpet. to all the coaches who are possibly watching this on the Sunday encore presentation, we get steak dinners at Jefferson County.
I'm telling you.
So y'all need to up your game.
You know, I was not there that night. That was one I had to miss.
I had yours.
Yeah. You still in your car? Thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. I'll get it on the way home.
No, you have to get your, you told us the last time we were here, your McDonald's traditional meal.
That is my go-to.
3rd and 10 for the Musketeers, trying to make something happen on offense here. They've had some nice plays, but just haven't been able to put it together into the end zone. And here's another deep shot, and just out of the outstretched hands. We said we're looking for Kellen McDuffie. Well, so was Jack Murphy on that play.
That was a good throw. I think McDuffie slowed up a little bit as he turned to look for the football. If he just keeps running, that might be 6 points.
But instead, it is 4th and 10.
And this is probably the ball game here if they don't get it.
And now Richmond Academy will call a timeout to think about it. A Ken Nugent one call, that's all moment for Lyle Burns. Well, again, every time we're here, we talk about the history of this place. You cannot come here and talk history without mentioning the name A.L. Williams. The baseball field right behind our stadium here, named for him. He was the baseball coach here at Richmond Academy for 20 years, from 1948 to 1968. I mean, this is almost unheard of, AB. 7 straight state titles from 1951 to 1957. They were 147 and 13 during that time, during his coach. And, of course, he's a Georgia Sports Hall of Famer. I didn't realize he was also a World War II vet. He was shot down in Germany and spent 16 months as a prisoner of war and died back in 2011. There you see the baseball field right behind us here. A.L. Williams.
I can add a stat to that.
What's that?
Recently, a local business owner, Pete Elwine, pointed this out to me, who his father played on one of those teams. The 1957, somebody went back and ranked and picked national champions throughout history. And the 1957 Richmond Academy Musketeers were deemed national champions in baseball.
Wow.
Yep.
So 4th and 10, Richmond Academy going for it, and in and out of the hands of Maurice Freeman.
Well, that's who you had to go to, either Freeman or McDuffie, and Freeman tried to make the play, could not, and now Hepsiba will get the ball back.
With 5:52 to play. One other A.L. Williams story. Jack Popple was a second baseman on one of his teams, and he told the story that I read in one of the Augusta Chronicle stories about Coach Williams. He said they were on one of their long winning streaks, and Coach Williams was a very superstitious guy.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let them change their socks until they lost a game. And so they had to wear the same socks to school, to game, everything like that. And so one of the team captains finally said, guys, we're going to have to lose a game. We can't get a date because nobody will go out with us because we got these smelly socks on. Great stuff. 1st and 10 for the Rebels, trying to salt this one away. It's Delly Johnson. He's got another 7 yards.
Well, Coach Holder let us change socks, but in the 2-year period of 88 and 89, Evans baseball was 58-1, and that one loss, trust me, we got back from the road trip and we practiced.
Oh, I bet.
After we got back, we're all putting our stuff up, going to our cars. He's like, I don't know where you think you guys are going.
Love it. Patrick going to heave it for the end zone. And broken up back there by Bruce Ivy.
And they're still going after it.
Hepsiba just somewhere Kyle Shanahan is smiling. Thank you. It's Johnson. Big Johnson and close to a first down. I think he's going to be a yard short, so here we go. 4th and less than a yard.
Well, you should
definitely are going to go for it, but
yeah, they should either hand it to Johnson or run that quarterback sneak they did earlier, one of the two. That's exactly what I'd do. I would run right behind him. Yeah, Nathan's pointing out big number 50, and that's what they do.
Exactly what they do, and move the chains fairway forward, first down.
Well, he's not falling backwards unless he wants to. He's following whichever direction he chooses. And that will get the first down, and this clock's going to run once the chains are set. Thompson rolling tonight, and Burke County rolling as well.
Oh,
so
boy, you talk about a
setting the
collision
stage.
course.
Yeah.
We will be there 1 week from tonight.
You can get the finals on football Friday night, but they both looking good tonight.
Patrick for the end zone.
Got him.
He's got him,
Oh.
and he had him. Trying to get Grant his 3rd score of the night.
And Grant already 8 touchdowns on the season. One thing it does do, though, is stop the clock.
Yeah, it does, AB.
You're up 14. I would be letting the clock run. Get out of this thing with a win. That's all that matters.
Second and 10.
Good looking run there.
Yeah, Alford.
I
Alford's had a couple of nice little runs here.
This kid, you talk about, you've got the 2 big backs with Dent and Johnson, and you throw him in there with that quickness and Callan with the quickness. They got, 4 pretty good backs. They got 4 backs, but they're none quicker than number 8. I can tell you that right now.
Every time you say Callan, I want to say DJ Callan.
Because all I do is win?
Well, there you go. Look at you.
Good run.
That is a very nice run up the middle for another first down. Keeps the chains moving with 3:21 and now less than that. He'll move the chains.
He's saying, Coach, keep me in the game some. Give me some carries. He's a sophomore. Johnson's a sophomore. Look at this. He doesn't go down right there. Kept his legs going. That's a great effort.
So now the Rebels starting to move the clock and move the chains and put this thing away. Oh, not this time.
No, not that time.
Very nicely done. That is Zayden Kadima.
Noble in there as well.
Yep, you're right, on the jersey switch.
Watch this. He just shot the gap right where they were running the play. Yep. His sister sang the national anthem. He makes a big hit.
But the clock continues to move.
You see some state championship banners over.
Oh, almost picked off twice. Think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, Travis Thompson, I think, got it first, and then it was Foley that got it second, I believe. Might have been Williams that hit it first. No, it was Thompson.
But Thompson had it first, and
Foley.
Foley on the rebound. And the clock stops again with 2:21 left to play. 3rd and 12.
Jalen Patrick, who his completion percentage numbers are going to take a hit tonight, but he's going to get the victory, and that's all that matters. Another back. This is a good run.
Absolutely. That's Antonio Heath, who has 2 touchdown catches on the season with a nice gain. By the way, you're welcome, Zayden Kadima, who is a senior lineman for Hepsiba, because I looked at the wrong roster. And there you see Grady Nogle, who was in fact the man on the hit for ARC a couple plays back.
You were talking about Coach Dorsey being excited about the youth. We mentioned Johnson's a sophomore, and the different backs that have come in, sophomores. Alford's a sophomore. And also, the running back Heath that just ran it, or receiver that just ran it, he is a sophomore.
No, the future is most definitely bright at Hepsiba. And tonight's not too bad either. Patrick being chased down. He is going to go down. Paul Reed again. Paul Reed's had a pretty good second half.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of unnecessary, though. Why? He is so important to your team. You're up 14. I don't know. I'd just be running the ball up the middle. And with, get those starters, keep them safe. You got some big games coming up.
Rebels continue to throw the football on 2nd down. There was an illegal shift as well against the Rebels. So it'll be 3rd and, let's call it 17. We're running out of time, so after this play, we'll get you the answer to the Stump AB trivia question. I know you're all on the edge of your seat. It's one of the easier ones I've ever given you, I think.
Well, it's one of them, yeah, I would hope. Let's hope I'm not thinking.
But I
wrong.
wanted to get Ken Wisenhunt's name in because he's such a part of ARC history.
He is. And he was a big part of the Steelers.
Yes, he was. Almost was a part of Atlanta Falcons history.
Yeah.
Was considered to be the head coach at one point. And here comes Reed again. Patrick gets it away, but falls incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. All right, you've had a chance to think about it.
All right.
The question was, Ken Wisenhunt, of course, the former ARC great, who went on to become the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, called one of the most memorable trick plays in Super Bowl history. Who was the first wide receiver to throw a touchdown pass in Super Bowl history? Still the only one.
That would be Antoine Randall L., former quarterback in Indiana.
You are correct.
There you go.
Into the hands of
Hines Ward.
Hines Ward. Go Dogs.
Yep.
As the Steelers beat the Seahawks 21-10. It was a 43-yarder. By the way, Antoine Randall L., now the wide receivers coach for the Detroit Lions.
He had some good seasons with the Steelers. He could throw it, kind of like Jacoby Myers now. I don't know if you've seen him, but he was a former high school quarterback, plays with the Patriots now. He threw 2 completions this past Monday night or Sunday night, whenever they played it. One of them was a dart over the corner under the safety that some quarterbacks couldn't throw. I was like, wow, they might ought to play this kid some. Yeah, I would just there might have been some property destroyed at my house that night that Randall L. completed that pass as Hines skipped his way into the end zone.
Appreciate the Munson reference.
Yep.
Short gain for the Musketeers. Clock stops, or continues now, under a minute to play.
Well, Hepsiba is going to get out of here with a win to go to 4-2 overall and 2-0 in the region. And Richmond Academy will drop another one. They have struggled this year. And
Murphy still on his feet.
Yeah, not giving up.
Nice play for Murphy, and now he will finally be knocked down, and knocked down hard by Ryan Allen.
They're going to throw a flag on Allen, I believe.
I want to see a replay on that. That looked... It looked shoulder to shoulder to me. But again, as you say all the time, maybe, they don't have the benefit of replay, and they're trying to protect the quarter. No, that was high. Let's see it one more time. And Matt tells us down the field, they're using the forearm. Yep, good call.
Allen.
Look, you and I are wrong every now and then. It happens.
I just saw him do that, and I thought that might be, but I thought he did it low. I didn't realize he did it that high.
So an automatic first down for the Musketeers, but you see the clock. Not enough time. Almost picked off. Our director tonight has been Kyle Thomas, a replay, Michael Edwakowski, Josh Ricor on graphics, Jeff Singleton on audio. Our camera folks tonight. By the way, these folks set up in the rain today. Just remind you about that. Brayshawn Glover, Hannah DiArco, Reggie Mackey, Zach King, our field grip, Antonio McFarland. On sidelines tonight, Kaylee Foster, our red cap, Adam Carstens, and keeping us on the air back at Television Park, the man, the myth, the legend, Levi Crawford. We appreciate all they did. The weather was fine when we got here, but some of it was ugly earlier today. And they will be here late into the night, breaking down. We appreciate everything they do as the Musketeers stop the clock with 25.2 seconds left. Well, this, as you mentioned, Hepsiba will move to 4-2 overall, 2-0 in Region 4 AAA, and a home game next week against Cross Creek. These Musketeers will head west down I-20 to take on Morgan County in search of their first region win of the year. And once again, we will be at the Brickyard next week for one of the most anticipated games in the state of Georgia all year long. And there's a pick,
there we go.
And that is going to be 6.
That's his second pick tonight.
Deshaun Lewis, 60 yards, exclamation point.
Well, coach said he wants points. The defense got it for him. Yeah, just the tip ball, and he just happened to be right there. Just the receiver tried to get it and picked off. 2 picks for him tonight. You go with and that's the second pick 6 tonight for Hepsiba. So Richmond's defense still tonight only gave up 2 touchdowns.
But the offense is we'll just say it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And the celebration can begin for the Hepsiba Rebels.
Looks like
Are we going to kick an extra point?
Looks like they're going to let him try to kick one.
Keep your seats, everyone. Telly Johnson. Well, not quite yet. Well, they're not. They're 12 on the field for the Rebels. They're not used to. What are we doing?
They're not used to a kicker being out there.
What is this formation? It doesn't. You can have a lot of fun with it when you're up by 20 points. And you see the traffic up on Walton Way as the Musketeer faithful start to head for the hills.
Yeah, just behind that goalpost to the left, there's some history too. That the basketball gymnasium's producing pretty good players. Gerald White sort of jumps out as one of the main ones, former 4-year starter at Auburn. And
maybe that's why they don't kick extra points. (26-6). Hepsiba is going to pick up a huge win here tonight. Well, real quick, I want to mention it's not been the greatest night on the field for ARC tonight, but I want to mention Felix Shire, the 3-sport athlete, track, cross country, and swimming. He has a 4.6 grade point average. He's #1 in the senior class here at Richmond Academy. He was our recent golden, well, I should say, we had the Golden Apple earlier. He is a recent WJBF Sports Scholar Athlete Award recipient. And get this, AB, he is a 2-time winner of the Steinberg Prize. That goes to the best high school playwright.
Well, his dad is Kevin Shire, who is the youngest of 3 Shire brothers. They all went to Evans. The middle brother was Darren, who was a good baseball player. But the oldest brother is Brian, and that's who I went to school with. And I'm sorry, Kevin, your son looks it looks like Brian with a wig on. I am not kidding you.
That's great.
And their parents, the mom was kind of the mom for the whole neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great family, the Shire family. And good to see Felix has done so well at such a young age.
Well, he raised him right because you know where he's going to school?
I'm assuming the Georgia.
University of Georgia, and he's going to study journalism.
There you go. Well, like I said, Kevin is an accomplished coach in his own right, big-time soccer coach. His wife is, well known for her music in this area. And Darren, like I said, was a talented athlete at Evans. Brian, I went to school with since we were in middle school, and I think he's moved out west and always very creative. And man, when I saw the picture of Felix, it was the spitting image of Brian at that age.
But this night belongs to the Hepsiba Rebels, and the Musketeers will tick the last 11.3 seconds off the clock. Don't forget the post-game show coming up. We'll name our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, our Powerade play of the game, and our East Central Georgia Health District hit of the game. All coming your way in 11.3 seconds. As soon as the Rebels put the lid on this one.
Well, like I said, it's lopsided, but Coach Burns is right to be appreciative of what his defense is doing. They only gave up 2 scores tonight. It was, they had a couple of pick sixes. And
let's be honest, this is a temporary thing for Richmond Academy. Lyle Burns will get this team back where it needs to be. They're a little short on players maybe this year, but everything's going to be fine here. Let's put it that way.
It's not just Curry. A lot of players will struggle losing a Curry-type player, but they lost a lot to graduation.
Rashad Williams, a 1,000-yard rusher from last year, as Murphy flings it to the near side, and that's going to be pass interference. So we'll have at least one more snap.
That is a long pass to throw that ball all the way across the field that way.
If you're Richmond Academy, you just got to play out the rest of this season and try to build for 2022. A lot of youth on this team, but Hepsiba right in the thick of this playoff chase. And basically, at 2-0, controls its own destiny in Region 4 AAA. Some tough games coming up. Should be the final play. I think the scoreboard operator wants it to be the final play. And it will be the final play, I believe. Yes, it will be the final play. That's how it's going to end, so it's not quite the midnight hour. But the Rebels are yelling 26-6 the final. Matt Lane down with the victorious head coach of the Hepsiba Rebels, Daniel Dorsey.
Coach, pretty good showing here for homecoming here at ARC. 4-2 on the year. Had a couple pick sixes. How'd you rate your team's performance tonight?
There's always room for improvement. Guys came out, we played hard. Still a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of things we got to clean up, but I'm proud of the way they came out, and we actually finished the game this week.
How do you speak to your team? It seemed there was a lot of excitement over here. Cheerleaders, the band, it really felt really one-sided in terms of just motivation in tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, the enthusiasm, once again, it's a cultural thing. Everybody buying in to the process and being all in. It's a school thing. The school supporting the kids or the players supporting the school and everything that we do. I mean, like I said, it's just a family thing. That's kind of one of our mottos. Forget about me, I love you, family.
Well, terrific showing tonight. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For sure. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt Lane with an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Our congratulations to Coach Dorsey and his Rebels. And that is one thing Coach Dorsey told me during our visit yesterday. He believes this team and its youth can change the football culture at Hepsiba. A big step tonight, moving to 2-0 in the region. Coming up on the post-game show, we will award our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. A big night for Hepsiba, the Rebels, a winner 26-6. Back at ARC Stadium on this victorious night for the Hephzibah Rebels, and time for our QBs by the quarter for the final quarter, as always brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, neither quarter had our quarterback had a great statistical game in terms of completion percentage. For Jack Murphy, 9 of 25, 53 yards and 3 interceptions, 2 of them run back for scores. For Jalen Patrick, the junior from Hepsiba, 8 of 23, 75 yards. He also threw a pick, but the big difference is he threw 2 touchdown passes to that man right there, Eric Grant. Also ran the ball 10 times for 26 yards.
All right, time to award our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. For that, back down to the field, and Matt Lane.
Thank you, John. We're down on the field for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. I want to start off on defense. Terrific showing here, only giving up 6 points to ARC here at homecoming. But number 23, Cornelia Smith, is our McDonald's defensive player of the game, had a pick six and several huge tackles in the game. How did you guys kind of dominate defense-wise? It seemed like they never could really get on track, it felt like.
Coach told us the game plan. We just executed, came out, got to the ball, just listened to coach, and we did our thing.
Yeah, and that's what he spoke to the enthusiasm this week. Really from every week from you guys, he seems to be very pleased with y'all's effort and energy levels. In terms of offense, had a huge game catching the ball, 5 catches for 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Number 17, Eric Grant, our McDonald's offensive player of the game. Eric, a lot of big tackles. I know you played some defense as well. How did you feel your team showed out tonight for homecoming?
I feel like they did what they're supposed to do. Coach told us what we're supposed to do. We weren't finna. They beat us last year on our homecoming, so we came back to beat them on their homecoming.
So gave them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, as they say. So terrific showing here for these 2 players. Number 17, Eric Grant, our offensive player of the game, and number 23, Cornelia Smith, our McDonald's defensive players of the game. Right here, John.
All right, thanks, Matt. Congratulations to Cornelius and Eric. Boy, they are having fun, aren't they, AB?
Oh, yeah, and I love that. Those players don't forget. They have that revenge factor thing. I love that.
All right, some more hardware to hand out. Let's get you to our Powerade play of the game.
Yeah, several to choose from, and Eric Grant had a hand in several of them.
This was pretty special, though.
Yeah, this was a 4th down play. They had to convert. Patrick bobbled the snap, throws it, and watch this catch. 1 of 3 incredible catches he made.
Oh, I thought we could have gone with the one-hander, too.
We could have gone with the touchdown as well.
We could have plays of the game, but that is your Powerade play of the game for tonight for this victorious Hephzibah Rebel squad as the band still continues to celebrate in the Hepsiba stands. And that brings us to our East Central Health District hit of the game. Again, a lot of nominees here.
Yeah, there were some good ones. And this was a perfect form tackle by Law, laying the Law there as he gets the running back low, picks him up in the air and dumps him. Big tackle by their leading tackler coming into the game.
And that was sort of a synopsis of how this game went for Richmond Academy. So the Rebels a winner 26-6. Final thoughts on this one, AB?
Yeah, I just think, Hepsiba did what they had to do. They came in, and Patrick didn't have a great night, but his receiver bailed him out. Grant had a great night with 3 big catches, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. And then defensively, Richmond's been struggling, and, Hepsiba took advantage with a couple of pick sixes, 3 interceptions, and a fumble recovery tonight.
All right, so again, 26-6, the final. Hepsiba beats Richmond Academy, moves to 2-0 in the region. Don't forget, football Friday night coming your way at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. All of tonight's scores and highlights. AB and I will recap this one. And you Hepsiba fans, you'll want to tune in high noon on Sunday afternoon for the encore presentation of Game Night Live. You can relive this big win by the Rebels over Richmond Academy again Sunday at noon. And then 1 week from tonight, what many people believe will be the championship game in Region 4 AAA, Burke County at the Brickyard to take on Thompson. We will be there and have it for you live. Don't forget to follow us on all your social media for all your scores. And a thank you again to all of our partners and sponsors who make Game Night Live possible. For my broadcast partner, Ashley Brown, our statistician, Nathan Edwards, Matt Lane down on the field. Thank you for watching. Congratulations to the Hepsiba Rebels. We will see you 1 week from tonight from the Brickyard. Get your popcorn ready, folks, for Burke County and Thompson. Until then, good night from ARC Stadium.